Thank you for watching the Solid Sports and Gaming channel. You're watching the Solid Sports Video Blog, episode 89. Today's date is January 5th, 2019. Thank you for joining me. I'm Troy West. You're watching the Solid Sports and Gaming channel right here on YouTube via the PlayStation Network. Thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you to all my PlayStation Network followers that's been growing for some reason very, very fast. And excuse me, I appreciate that so much. Today's episode should be a little quick and short. First episode of the new year, so Happy New Year once again if I didn't tell anyone that already. We're going to talk a little NBA. James Harden is on fire. We'll get to that. How he's been carrying the Rockets in these last few games, especially with Chris Paul being out. Rockets right back in the thick of things in the Western Conference. And we'll also just touch on the Kawhi Leonard homecoming. Came back to San Antonio on Thursday night as well. We'll talk a little bit about that, as the crowd was mainly boos, but it still felt like it was some sort of appreciation for him as well. And of course, we'll get into the NFL wildcard games. Of course, 2 games today, coming up at 4:30 kickoff time. The Indianapolis Colts will face the Houston Texans as the 3 and the 6 seeds. And the night game tonight is the Seahawks going to Dallas to face the Cowboys. And then we got the 2 games tomorrow. Baltimore hosting the LA Chargers at 1. And then the 4:30 kickoff is Philadelphia going to Chicago. So we'll talk about all that. Also touch on the college football playoff final. College football playoff championship game. The Alabama Christmas Tide and the Clemson Tigers face each other on Monday night. We'll start in the NBA. James Harden, like I said, has been on a tear. I just looked at his stats since Chris Paul went down with a hamstring injury. He's averaging 42 points a game. I think he's in the midst of a 6-game streak of at least 40 points. They just beat the Warriors Thursday night. I think I say like the first quarter of that game. I didn't watch the end, but a game-winning 3-point shot for him. Harden is just hard to stop what he's on, especially with his jump shots on. He gets to the foul line more than anyone. He has a array of moves dribbling the basketball. Some people say, oh, well, he draws too many fouls and all this other stuff. But he know how to get to the line. He know how to manipulate the getting fouls. You just gotta try not to foul him. But if you don't do that, then he's probably going to get by you and score, or go to that famous step back jump shot that he has. And I just looked at a stat about that. He got 100 this season. Well, at least 100, could be more now. The rookie Luka Doncic, which I see play a little bit last night against the Celtics, he only has 28, so a big difference between everybody else in the league and James Harden. As far as the Rockets getting back into the Western Conference, they're right there, smack in the middle. I think they're now 21-17. Of course, they had a slow start to the season, but now they look formidable again. But the Western Conference is just wide open this year. I still like the Warriors. I think the Warriors are just going through the motions of the regular season with this, probably just not motivating them as normally. But everybody else that's around Denver. Speaking of the Spurs, the San Antonio Spurs, the Lakers, the Rockets, as I mentioned, the Los Angeles Clippers. So there's a lot of teams all within that playoff range, fighting for spots. So Portland Trail Blazers is in there as well. So the West will be interesting as the weeks go on. Who, if anyone, will separate themselves, or if anybody else will emerge to go to maybe try to take down the Warriors. Nuggets probably the most surprising team out there, and maybe the Clippers to me as well. Didn't think they would be as good this year, but they are. So, but the Western Conference wide open, gotta watch it. We'll see how everything unfolds. Speaking of the Spurs, like I said, Kawhi Leonard came back to San Antonio for the first time since the trade in the offseason. got a lot of boos, which to me wasn't surprising. The way he left, probably deserved him to get boos, but he's still an excellent player. They got blown. The Spurs pretty much pulled away and blew them out, but Leonard still showed his flashes of his game. DeMar DeRozan, not as good as Kawhi Leonard as we all can agree on, but had a monster first half, slowed down in the second half, but he's a very talented player. And the Spurs, maybe they could get a playoff spot. Even right now would be in if the playoffs ended today. But I still think the crowd appreciated Kawhi. Of course, Daddy Green is the throw-in on the trade. Of course, he was the Spur. He had some big shots for the Spurs in his career as well. He got a stated ovation. They pretty much overcheered him, I guess, just to dig at Kawhi. But I think at the same time, I think the bottom of their hearts, they still appreciated him and what he did. Finals MVP that year, they beat the Heat, which was, to me, the way they did it, the way they dished out to the Heat, it was surprising. You know, really seemed like they was motivated to get back there and beat the Miami. Of course, that was the second meeting in a row as they lost a 3-2 lead the year before. And Kawhi Leonard, pretty much that series, that's what he pretty much grew into the player that he is today. Winning the Finals MVP. Still a quiet, calm guy. Sort of remind me of myself a little bit, honestly, as far as that demeanor that he has. But he's one of the top, I would say, top three easily. Him, Kevin Durant, and LeBron James are clearly the three top players in the game. Other players coming, young players, Anthony Davis, Giannis, Antetokounmpo, the Greek Freak, of course. The league is in good hands. LeBron James still hurt, so hopefully he'll be back. They gave him another week. He missed another 3 games with the hamstring injury he has. But the Lakers still afloat. So that's our NBA talk for the week. We're going to move on to the NFL playoffs. Of course, I'm going to make my picks. I think I'll just do it conference by conference. I was going to do it. Pick the 2 games today. Well, that's how I do it. I pick the 2 games. I go by time. I pick the 2 games today first and the 2 days tomorrow. You could go look on my channel right now. I put it in the icon, information icon in the video. My last video, of course, was the special NFL playoff preview, which I break down everything. So you probably already know. If you watch that, you already know who we're picking for these games. And just to looking at it right now, just to remind myself. But let's get to that. Of course, today's game started at 4 o'clock. ABC and ESPN has this game. It's the AFC 6 seed matchup. The Colts, number 6 seed, going against the Houston Texans, number 3. Of course, these 2 teams are division rivals. They split the first the 2 games in the regular season. Both teams winning at home by 3 points. But it's a big stat. It's like, this game to me is more of a coin flip now that I've had more time to listen to the experts and look at some stats and things. Like Andrew Luck, you know about his early career. Led the Colts to the playoffs, I think, his first 3 years in the league. And then, of course, he's been hurt really ever since. And mainly because he got hit a lot. Was sacked, probably, I think, a record within the 3-year span. Just last year, I think he got sacked 50 sometimes. I think this year he got sacked 18 times. So that Colts offensive line has done a much better job and a rebuild. Even though the Colts on the road, I think they're very capable of winning this game and pulling the upset. But I'm still going to go with the Texans. I just think they're still slightly more talented than them. Even though Deshaun Watson don't have no playoff experience, but he's still a big game quarterback. So I expect him to have his best game. And I think the home crowd will be enough. I think Watt and Clowney will make enough impact plays to turn this game around. But I think it's going to be a close game. But I got Houston winning at home and moving on to the divisional round, which means they will face the Patriots. The night game, as we switch over to the NFC, the Seattle Seahawks goes to Dallas to face the Dallas Cowboys. This is also a toss-up game. Seattle beat them back. I think it was in week 2 they played. Seattle won. It was 21-17 was the score. Zeke had a monster game. Usually when he does, the Cowboys do pretty well. But both of these two teams are completely different now. Seattle been playing well as late. So have Dallas. To get the 10-3 to win this, 10-6 to get to this, to win the division, to get here, make the playoffs. But I just like how Seattle been playing. I trust Russell Wilson a little bit more than I trust Dak Prescott. That's pretty much the difference to me. I don't think them being on the road, though Seattle's a different team on the road. So this probably sound back to the same, I think, being on the road. And Russell Wilson is back against the wall. He plays his best football. I think he'll make enough plays and get Seattle by the Dallas Cowboys. If the Cowboys go home, I think Seattle will move on to the divisional round next week. Let's move over to Sunday. First game up Sunday, 1 o'clock kickoff. The Los Angeles Chargers at the Baltimore Ravens. Of course, they played a few weeks ago. I think it was week 13 in Los Angeles. Ravens went in there, pretty much dominated the game, won 22-10 over the Los Angeles Chargers. The only thing I worry about the Ravens, I'm picking the Ravens to win the game. But my thing is, which like I said, I listen to the experts, and also my personal opinion as well. When you've seen an offense once on the field actually played against them, you can do maybe small adjustments to even it out a little bit. And I think the Chargers will probably be more ready and prepared for the read option with Lamar Jackson. So that's a concern of mine. And also, the Chargers are just a much better team on the road. 7-1 on the road. Their efficiency on the road is better than their home efficiency. They just was a way better team on the road. And I like Phillip Rivers with his back against the wall as well. He's a competitor. He's not going to quit. I think the Ravens will have to pretty much give him a full 60 minutes. It's not going to be easy. But I still think the defense, the Ravens defense, will make enough plays. I think the offense is going to struggle probably overall in the game. So I think the defense is going to have to be the difference, and I think it will. I think they get enough turnovers maybe, or pretty stifle the defense like they did in Los Angeles. I think they'll be even better this time. Probably still get about 10-13 points. I think the Ravens could get about 16, and that'll be enough. I think the Ravens move on and they win. So that means I got the Ravens facing the Chiefs next week. And of course, you can watch my NFL playoff preview show if you want to know my full predictions for the playoffs. And the final game of the weekend, as we go back to the NFC, the Philadelphia Eagles at the Chicago Bears. Now, strong their defense been this year with Khalil Mack getting traded right before the season started. Like I said, the more I said about this game, a lot of people think this is the easiest game. Bears, hands down. And I feel comfortable picking the Bears as well, but the Eagles, a lot of things look similar to last year when they run. It's hard to repeat, so that's why I think they might just go ahead and lose this game. But I think the more games they win, the more dangerous they're going to be if they able to pull off this upset. But I don't think so. I think the Bears will do enough. They're at home. I think the defense will be stifling. Nick Foles, gotta give his respect, but I think he's going to actually struggle, and that'll be the difference. I think Trubisky have a decent game, but I don't see him lighting the world on fire either. I think it's going to come down to the running game for both teams, and who wants it more. It's going to come down to the trenches. I think the Bears just a little bit better at that, even though the Eagles, the defensive line, is nothing to play with either. So, this is a game I think it's going to be close. I think the Bears going to have a fight on their hands, but I think they can win it at home and move on. So that means I got the Bears next week going to the LA Rams, and the Seahawks playing the New Orleans Saints next week. And like I said, if you want to know all my predictions throughout the playoffs, go watch my NFL season preview special, which is available now, episode 88, because it was the last episode before I did this one. So big week in the NFL at the playoffs starting. Of course, next week's the divisional round. And that'll do it for most of the talk this week. Let's move on to one more game. Championship game on Monday. College football playoff championship. Alabama pretty much dominated Oklahoma. Oklahoma made a push, but Alabama pretty much dominated the game. Clemson shut down Notre Dame. So this is the matchup. This is the third time they met, or the fourth time they met in the college football playoff, but the third time they met for a title. Of course, Alabama won the first meeting. I want to say it was 2013. Then they played the next year. Deshaun Watson's famous drive to beat the Crimson Tide. I think it was about 2 seconds left on the clock. He hit the guy on the flat in the end zone. I think that was 2014. So it might have been 2015. It might have been 2014. It might have been 14-15. This is Deshaun Watson's second year. This is second year. So okay, so I think it was 2015 when they played and he won. But yeah, I mean, this is gonna be a great game. But I just still go with Alabama. It's hard to pick against Alabama. They've been dominant for so long. Tua looks like his normal self, but they saying maybe this will be his biggest challenge yet with that defensive line of the Crimson Tigers. About to say the Crimson Tide. And his ankle's still not 100%, so they're gonna probably test that. But I think he'll make enough plays. I think Lawrence, the freshman, which is the same thing. I think he will come back down there for a little bit. I think he'll still have a decent game, but I think he's gonna make some mistakes, and that'll be the difference for Alabama. I think Alabama wins it. I think it'll be close. I think we will be within a touchdown or so. And that game is Monday night on ESPN as well. For us, to come up with the channel, I finished Spider-Man Silver Lining DLC, so it won't be no more Spider-Man for a while unless they come up with something else. I finally finished that. So I'm gonna go back to my retro series with Mega Man X. I plan on trying to start that this week. I am off today, so I might do a live video or something, Call of Duty or 20XX or something, so look out for that. And like I said, this new year, games coming out this year I'm very interested in is Rage, which come out all the way in April. We got Division 2. There's probably the two biggest games coming out, in my opinion, that I'm very excited for. And also Crash Team Racing Nitro Fuel, which is like a remake of Crash Team Racing, which I'm not surprised that they're doing. That game is going to be excellent as well. So a lot of big games coming out this year. Project that I haven't finished, the Madden project, I'm not sure if I'm going to finish that. I'm not going to lie, I'm just going to be honest. I didn't like Madden that much this year. It was just something about it. I didn't care for it this year. The controls and everything, I don't know. It's just the AI. Something about it just seems a little extra this year. I didn't care for it. So, but that's all. That's it. That's what's coming up on the channel for the next time, and for the time being. Like I said, it'd be a lot of Call of Duty though lately. But like I said, I appreciate y'all's support. Like I said, the PlayStation Network, my followers are growing. I don't know why, and I appreciate it so much. Getting a lot of followers. So the tricky thing is sometimes I upload videos that don't show on my on the feed. Like when you turn your PlayStation 4 on, it has what everybody's doing, what they plan. If you uploaded videos, it has it there. Usually my blog will be there. Sometimes it don't, depends on if it's an error or not. Sometimes I get the error and it still goes through to my YouTube. So if you're watching on the network, like I said, go to my YouTube channel as well and subscribe. If you really want to not miss anything, it'll definitely be on that. So go to my YouTube channel, which is Solid Sports and Gaming. Solid capitalized, sports capitalized as well, and gaming, all one word. And game, well, Solid Sports is one word, then and gaming is spaced out, and gaming is also capitalized. So you'll see my beautiful face there, to make you sure that you get to the right channel. But that'll do it. I want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you to all my supporters on YouTube as well. But I just really thank my PlayStation Network followers, which is growing every day. So I want to say thank you. Enjoy your weekend. I'm in Baltimore. A little bit crazy weather, windy, a little rainy. So and if you're somewhere in a cold weather city, stay warm. And if you're down south, be safe as well. Enjoy your weather and enjoy your day, enjoy your weekend. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching.